and I started using it before that. And it's definitely helped me just grow my business, find a system that works for me. It's all organized because if people know me, organization is not my forte. Was a teacher, but then I came into this and had to figure out some systems that worked, didn't work, and this is something that has definitely stuck with me. So I wanted to get you on and share with my team more in depth, just maybe some philosophy behind network marketing,
Mhm.
what your experience is, how this could help us, and yeah, just how we can learn and grow from you.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be part of the retreat in Tennessee. Looks like fun. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm recording, by the way, so you guys will have a playback on this, and Kristen, you can share it with your team later. Here's what my name's Eric Johnson, creator of Teamzy, and I'm going to take you guys first through a little bit of training on relationship marketing. See, Teamzy is a software system that will totally organize you in your business. It'll allow you to do all of your income producing activities in less than 1 hour a day. Okay, and it super simplifies it. So it's easy to do. You don't have to think, and it's easy to duplicate with people that are coming onto your team. However, you need to know that it's more than just that. It's also a philosophy, an approach to the business that may be a little different than what you've heard out there before. It's based on relationship marketing. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start teaching you a little bit about relationship marketing. Then I'll take you into Teamzy and I'll show you how to set it up. I'll show you how to crush a power hour. You can easily connect with 20 people a day in less than a half an hour in Teamzy. How cool is that? And it's all tracked as you go. Okay, I'll take you through the whole process, how to connect with people, have conversations, invite them to learn about the business, and how to follow up like a pro until they're on your team. Okay, and then we'll do an open Q&A at the end. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to feel like you guys are sipping water from a fire hose at times, so hang in there. And again, we'll do a Q&A at the end if you guys can hang in for those. However, I will tell you that if you do feel like the spirit move you and you need to ask something in the middle, it's okay with me. Just unmute and do it. But otherwise, I'll keep you guys muted until the end. Okay. So this is what I want to talk to you about first. How to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Okay. A little bit about my backstory for those of you who don't know me. I come from a background of business coaching and consulting. I've been helping people build their businesses by relationship for the past 15 years. I fell into network marketing by accident, probably like a lot of you. I found some products that really changed my life. I lost a bunch of weight and just became more healthy and vibrant. And I was sharing the products with other people. I wasn't a distributor. I was just excited about what it was doing for me. I finally figured out that I could actually get paid for doing that, and I jumped into the business. Now, as a business consultant, I looked at the business opportunity and said, wow, this is amazing. You can have a business with no limits, and it requires no investment, right, to get started. Somebody else handles all your fulfillment and customer service. How awesome is this? But I only had a little bit of time every day. How many of you guys struggle with having very much time for your business? So what I did was I put on my consultant hat and I said, I'm going to go find some tools that will help me leverage my time so that I can do it an hour a day. And what I found was in our industry, there just wasn't anything good. There was nothing easy to use. Nothing was based on relationships. And there was certainly nothing focused around staying in contact with people and connecting with people. So that's kind of how Teamzy came to be. We built it because there was a need and it just didn't exist. So let's talk about relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? A lot of people think this means selling stuff to your friends, right? People think relationship marketing is just selling stuff to your friends. That's not the case at all. Relationship marketing is actually an approach to marketing where building relationships is your strategy. That's the bedrock, the foundation of your business, okay? And I need you guys to know that relationship marketing is a lead generation system, okay? A lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. I know it's kind of a boring definition, but listen. As a business owner, and you guys are business owners now, the first thing a business owner must decide is what lead generation system will they employ in their business to build their business. Okay, I'm going to show you relationship marketing, which is the most effective system of any business, and is also, you'll find, is more fun probably than some of the stuff you've seen. But you need to have a mindset shift. As a business owner, your business is not marketing nutritional supplements that are amazing. That's not your business. Your business is lead generation. You're in the lead generation business. It does not matter how busy you are today. If you didn't do the activities that generate new business for you, you didn't build your business today. Does that make sense? It's a mindset. Now, what's cool about this is developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So we are in the lead generation business. We generate new leads so that we can build relationships with those people. Okay, does this make sense? Your business is meeting people and building relationships with them. That's, if you keep your focus there, you'll be fine. And then what we do with the relationships is we turn them into advocates. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. What's an advocate? You guys are advocates. An advocate is somebody that loves something and they share it. They're compelled to, for no other reason than they're excited about it. Okay? And the traditional approach in network marketing is this kind of concept where you make a list of your friends and you send some sort of awkward cold message to every one of your friends, inviting them to look at the business. Have some of you guys had to do that? It's awkward, right? And then what the result is, a couple people are interested and everybody else is totally turned off. You burn all those bridges with your relationships. The whole like go for no idea, it's like throwing people away like dead bodies when they say no to your business. Look, I want you guys to understand with relationship marketing, as we're connecting with people, we're not burning bridges. We're building up the relationships. Instead of having a list of people who said no and don't want to talk to us anymore, we have people who will become advocates for what we're doing. It's just a different approach, and it's pretty cool. Okay. All right. Next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Okay. The biggest complaint that I hear from people about network marketing is they hate how sneaky it is. Sneaky is the word I keep hearing people say. Sneaky. Like you're trying to trick people. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. Okay. Now, the cool thing is with trust, the work is fun. When people trust you, even just a tiny bit, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You can get right to helping them. Okay. And some of you experience that with people who trust you. Also, trust takes the ickiness out. How many of you, like me, are paranoid of being considered the icky salesperson? I hate to be thought of as the icky salesperson. When you build trust, you don't have to worry about that. Also, you get to go for yes. Instead of this whole go for no idea where it's like a badge of honor getting rejected. No, you're going for yes. Every single person at some level or another will be part of your team when you're building a relationship with them. It's pretty cool. Okay, so how do you build trust? I'm going to share with you the basics tonight, the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, I'll go through them quickly and then you guys can I'll take notes and I'll break them out for you as I go. Number 1 is chemistry. Chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character. The 3rd essential ingredient is competence. Competence. And the 4th is consistency. Consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Okay, let's talk about these real quick. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Bottom line, there's 2 ways to look at this. 1, it's hard to do business with someone you don't like. True? Yeah. And did you know that 87% of North Americans, according to Gallup, prefer to do business with someone they consider a friend? We got to find chemistry. We got to find common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Here's the thing, right? We just had a big election, right? Everyone's all divided up. As a business owner, your job is to find common ground with everyone. Okay? So always be careful. Focus on finding what you have in common with people so you can help everybody. Okay, number 2, character. Character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Please notice that character is not something you have, it's something you do. Okay, character is not something you have, it's something you do. We think it's something we have, and we get offended if someone questions our character, questions our integrity. And you need to understand that character is an action. You have to demonstrate your care every single day. Does this make sense? Character. Again, everything that you do needs to demonstrate your character. Every post on social media needs to demonstrate your character. The way you drive in traffic needs to demonstrate your character, right? Don't put a big old Thrive sticker on the back of your car and then drive like a maniac, right? Oh my gosh, we have license plates. Our license plates have, scriptural references, so it's clear that we're Christian. So yeah, it keeps me behaving on the road because I don't want people to look at that plate and think poorly of everyone, right? So I'm like, oh, that license plate, I better slow down, right? Okay. Character. Demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable constantly in everything you do. Number 3, competence. Competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. These are the essential ingredients to building trust, you guys. Are you competent at what you do? Can you help me? If I tell you what I need help with, do you know enough about your product to help me? Can you prescribe a solution for me? And the second piece is, do I trust you to mentor me in the business? Are you competent? Are you a good business person? Now, here's the cool thing. Do I have any new people? Let me see. Anybody kind of new on the call? I know you guys up in the cabin in Tennessee are the leaders, right? So you guys aren't going to raise your hand. New people don't have competence. They just don't. You have to build that over time. You learn, you experience, you have stories, you're exposed, and then you gain competence. So when you're new, what do? The traditional advice is fake it until you make it. Have you guys heard that before? Let me see. Who's heard that before? So with relationship marketing, you cannot fake it. Do not fake it. You need to be you. You need to be authentic. You need to be true. People can smell any sort of deception and it's over. You've got to use you'll have to use a different lead generation system. If you're not building trust, this won't work. Okay. You have to be authentic in every tiny thing you do, which is more fun anyways, right? So when you're not competent, when you're new, what you do instead of faking it is you just lean into your team. Lean into your team's competence. Hey, I'm new, but I'm one text message away from the most knowledgeable person in the network on this. Okay. I'm new as far as building the business, but together we're going to plug into the training system and of the team that is unbelievable. Okay. So lean into the competence of your team. And for you leaders, teach your new people to lean into your competence until they build their own. Make sense? All right, here's a principle on these 3, and then I'm going to jump into number 4. And that's this. When someone's going to do business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? You need to know these 3 principles, these 3 questions, because I call them heart questions. People don't necessarily ask these out loud, but they feel them in their heart. And when you're coming up against objections in your business, an objection is a sign that these questions are not answered for that person. Your relationship's not strong enough yet. Make sense? So you have to continue building that relationship. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Number 4 is consistency. Consistency. Let me see, show of hands, parents. Who's got kids? How important is being consistent with your kids to build trust? Yeah, it's no different with any other relationship. Consistency is the most important thing. I love this principle. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. What's cool about this is when you're consistent, people will start to tell you things like, wow, you're so inspiring. How many of you have been told you're inspiring? And it's humbling, isn't it? Because you think I'm inspiring. I literally put on my pants backwards this morning by accident. Like I'm a normal person. But they're inspired by your consistency. They want some of it in their own life, and it attracts them to you. The cool thing about being consistent, not only does it build trust, which is key to this business, but it will attract people to your team. It's like a double benefit. Okay. So on those days, by the way, I'm going to show you Teamzy in a little bit, which makes it very easy to be consistent, but it's still difficult as a human being. But on the days you don't feel like it, just remember people are watching, and the more consistent you are, the more you'll attract to your team. How awesome is that? I lifted this concept from one of my favorite books. I'm going to recommend it to you. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. If you guys are into personal development, you should read this book. It's awesome, especially the leaders. Psychology of Persuasion, Influence by Robert Cialdini. It's kind of a heavy duty social science book. It's definitely not Girl Wash Your Face, which is also a great book, much easier to read. But this guy studied people and how they interact, and basically broke it down to the 6 laws of influence. See, the thing is as a leader, whether you're leading your team, whether you're leading a customer to a solution that will help them, whether you're leading a friend to a better life, it's about influencing people, right? And understanding how to do that to help people. Okay, so get that book. Next, let me ask you guys a question. How many of you are consistent users of your product or the product? Let me see by show of hands. Great. Good. You got to be doing that, right? How about social media? How many of you are consistent sharing your story, posting on social media, being active there? Okay, great. So the real question is this. Those are things you need to be doing, right? When you go to Teamzy, actually, it'll ask you to check that off every day. Did you use your products today? Did you post on social media today? But the real checkup from the neck up is this. Are you as consistent with your relationships? How many of you guys are consistent about staying in touch with people? Now, here's the thing. Some of you are like, yeah, kind of or sort of. I'm going to show you how important and how crucial it is to be in touch with everybody, basically. But having a system that allows you to do it and to be consistent, okay? So you got to be in touch with people, because people won't actually believe you until they see you. People won't believe you until they see you. What do I mean by this? I see you guys posting on social media. You'll post things about your own story. Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. This has been life-changing for me. Come join me, join my team. And you'll post like that. People will be watching. And you may get a few people who put their hand up and say, yeah, I'm interested in learning more. This is great. But the vast majority of the people you're connected to on social media are not commenting, liking, or interacting at all with those posts, are they? But here's what I want you to know. They are watching. And probably most of the people that you're connected to are watching you and watching what you're doing. But see, they don't believe you are inviting them personally. They think what you're doing, they might think what you're doing is cool, but they're watching you like a TV show. They're not engaged with you. Why would they believe you're talking to them if you haven't connected with them personally in years? Okay, they won't believe you till they see you. What do I mean by this? I mean, you need to connect with people one-on-one. Relationship building is a contact sport. You got to be in regular contact with people. Okay, now I know your time is scarce, and that's why we built this system to make you efficient. I'll show you guys in a minute. But here's a principle I want you to understand. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Let me just share this really quick. I want to see your faces. So turn on your cameras if your cameras are off real quick while I talk to you real quick. How many of you guys have received a great card from somebody you care about? Like a birthday card or an anniversary card. And in the card was a message, handwritten. And when you read that message, it had a deep emotional impact on you. It really moved you. How many of you guys have ever received a card like that? Hopefully everybody, right? It's important to get those things. Now, what happens after you've read it? How many of you are, after you read a card like that, like a good one, I'm talking like, tears, the whole thing. How many of you just throw it away and said, that was nice, thank you, honey, and throw it away and put it in the trash? Let me see, how many people? Nobody. How many keep those cards? In fact, sometimes you wish you could throw them away, but you just don't, right? You've got like a special place where all those cards are. Yeah, most people do keep them. You know what's amazing? When people pass away, their family keeps those cards. And in many cases, it's what's treasured the most, right? It's amazing. Now, quick question. I used to have one here to show you. I just moved into my new house. That's part of the story today. I'll explain to you, but I just moved this week, so I lost my postcard. How many of you ever received one of those happy birthday postcards from the dentist or the chiropractor or somebody like that? Insurance salesman. You guys ever get those happy birthday postcards that come in the mail? Yeah. Now, let me ask you something. How many of those happy birthday postcards are in the special box or the special drawer with those other notes? Do you guys throw those away? Yeah, those get thrown right away, don't they? They don't have any value. Why does the happy birthday postcard have no value? And a card with a handwritten message is treasured and kept forever. What's the difference? The difference is the postcard has no investment of time. See, the investment of time in a relationship is what we value the most. Okay? And that's why, similarly, a great post on Facebook or Instagram is like a happy birthday postcard. It's nice when you see it, and then it's gone. Whereas connecting with somebody one-on-one makes an impact because you took time and gave it to that person. Are you guys tracking with me? Now, I'm not telling you need to be writing letters to people or note cards to people on a regular. I mean, I think you should be doing that when appropriate. That's part of what you should be doing. But I'm just talking about sending somebody a message on Facebook or on or text, one-on-one message to connect with them. Make sense? You need to understand the only way to deepen a relationship is to invest time and connect with people. And the way to build a real business, the kind that you don't have to rebuild every single year and grind for the rest of your life, the kind of business that builds itself after a while, is by deepening relationships. Okay? All right, let's jump back in here. I'm almost done with this prezzo, and then we will jump into Teamzy. I think I've got one more slide here. Okay. So, from the principal standpoint, I'm sure what I'm saying resonates with you guys. It makes sense. But you need more than just principles. You must have a system. You got to have a system. You can't be willy-nilly in this business. You can do pretty well without a system, but then you get to a point where everything falls apart. You need a way that you can stay in contact with all your relationships, all of them. Okay? You should know when to contact them and when not to contact them. Basically, what I don't want you to have to do is spend 3 hours planning who you're going to connect with during your power hour. You should just know, here's who's up next. Okay? Know what to say. Otherwise you're going to end up looking at your screen for an hour like I used to do, staring at it, wondering what to say. What do I say to this person who I haven't talked to since high school? Are you with me? Just, you need to know what to say so you can move quickly and you can connect with maximum people. And also you want to make sure that nobody ever falls to the cracks. In about 10 minutes, when I talk to you guys about following up, we will see that there are massive people falling through the cracks right now. Probably even from the leaders on the team, which is okay. All of us have room to grow and improve. But we need a system to make sure that that doesn't happen. Make sense? Okay. So let's jump out. I'll show you Teamzy real quick. Let's see here. Okay, here's Teamzy. Very cool. Okay, so for those of you not using Teamzy yet, you can go to Teamzy.com, get a free trial. It's 30 days free. We don't ask for your credit card or anything like that. You can just go in and use it for free. Okay, after this call, you should be pretty excited to use it. I feel it's very important that you get 30 days free because I believe that even if this is your first day in the business, you should be able to use this system that I'm going to show you tonight for 30 days and get enough momentum in your first month that you could get an annual subscription prepaid for Teamzy from what you earn using the free trial. Okay? So I want to encourage you guys that's why I give it to you. So take advantage of it. Okay? And tonight you're getting a personal walkthrough from me on how to crank through this and how to crush your power hour. So what we're going to do, here's the Teamzy dashboard. There's a custom version for Le-Vel. Make sure you grab the right one. Okay? There's a drop down when you sign up for your free trial. This is the custom version for you guys. Now what we're going to do is we're going to crank through this, but first we'll set it up. So when you first log in, you'll come into a setup wizard. The setup wizard, I've dismissed it, but you can get back to it anytime right here in settings. I'll take you through the setup wizard real quick. Okay. So what we're going to do is 3 things. We're going to set an income goal. Okay. Teamzy takes your income goal and tells you what to do daily to hit it. How cool is that? We know what you need to get done once you tell us what you want to achieve. Then we're going to take you through the process of creating a why. This is something that is so crucial to your success. I'll explain as we get there. And then we'll get your contacts into Teamzy, all of them. One place, organized. You won't be chasing around pads of paper you can't find, sticky notes you've stuck all over the place, right? Little scraps, whatever you guys use, spreadsheets you forget to update. All of it will be in Teamzy. None of that anymore. It's all there. It lives in the web, so you've got it all the time. Wherever your phone is, you've got Teamzy. How many of you guys freak out if you're 5 minutes away from your phone somewhere? Yeah. So you've always got Teamzy with you. Don't worry. Okay. Let's go. So let's set the income goal. You're going to come up to a blank line. I put 150,000 as my goal. The goal is 12 months from now. What annual income level would you like to be at 12 months from now? Make sense? So what's your number? Put your number in. I'm going to show you right now that a $150,000 goal in the first year is achievable in an hour a day. Crazy, right? But it's about being consistent. Let's go to the next page. When I go to the next page, it breaks that down into me. Well, first it gives me the big number. I need to, in 12 months, connect with 4,348 people. Okay, is that a lot? How many of you think that's a lot of people? Wow, you guys are stone cold killers. Nobody even cares about 4,348. I think it's a lot of people. But here's the cool thing. When you break that down daily, it's actually something doable. The next page breaks it down for me. It breaks it into my 3 groups: prospects, customers, and promoters, right? And then it takes it down yearly, monthly, weekly to daily. So my daily goal now is to connect with 9 prospects every day, 6 customers, and 4 promoters on my team, 19 people, 20 minutes of work, seriously. Okay? Now, this is an aggressive goal, but it's a doable goal. So how many of you guys are ready for something aggressive? Like you want to really fast start your business and crank it up? Okay, so you guys probably are looking at numbers similar to what I'm showing right now. Now, I want you to know that our active users in Teamzy are averaging 9 distributors and 21 customers new in the business every 90 days. Okay, and those people that I'm using, that I'm quoting, are doing numbers like I'm going to demonstrate tonight. All right, just so you guys have an idea of what's possible. All right, now these numbers, you can edit them. They're suggested by Teamzy based on the income goal, but you can change it. Let's say you're new and you've got no promoters yet. You make that a 0 and add the 4 over to prospects, okay? If you've got no customers, great. You can make that a 0 and then just do 19 prospects every day. And you can edit that as you go. Make sense? Okay, so let me put these back. If you've got a team already, it's great because I'm gonna show you how important it is to start staying in regular contact with your customers and team if you haven't been doing that. All right, I'm gonna round that one up to 10 so it's an even 20. Okay, so these goals are, by the way, these are connect goals. Connect with prospects, connect with customers, connect with promoters. A connect is simply reaching out to somebody to make their day. That's it. That's a connect. It's not an invite. It's not trying to get them to buy something. It's not trying to get them to join your team. It's just connecting to make their day. Make sense? Now down here where I have an invite goal, my goal is 3 a day. An invite is where I am inviting somebody to purchase. I'm inviting somebody to join my team. Okay? My goal out of 20 conversations is 3 invites. That's because I'm only inviting people who I find interest. They have interest in the products or what I'm doing. Make sense? And then the ads, these are just new people you're adding to your list. So these are your daily goals. Once you have them where you want them and click continue, it sets your dashboard up now to your specific goals. So that's all set up, okay? Let me show you. So you can see now my dashboard is set up to the goals we just set: 10 prospects, 6 customers, 4 promoters, 3 invites, and 3 ads. Those are my goals that I'm gonna try to hit every single day. Make sense? Okay, let's jump back in here. Next step is my why. My why. How many of you guys, real quick, by show of hands, how many of you already have your why written down somewhere? A couple of people. How many of you have heard about it and you know it's kind of important and you've been meaning to do it? Yeah. And a lot of times people don't do it because it seems too deep and mystical and strange. And I always joke, you don't have to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona to figure this thing out. It's actually pretty simple to figure out your why. You just need to take 15, 20 minutes to think about it, okay? And so what we've found is that we've created a series of questions in Teamzy just to get you thinking, to ask yourself these questions and take yourself through this process of thinking so that you can pull that why statement out. It's really important because you know your why in your heart, but you have to tell your brain what it is. Does this make sense? How many of you guys have ever heard the term follow your heart? And it's pretty cool, right? The idea of following your heart. Did you know it's not possible to follow your heart? You know why it's not possible to follow your heart? Because your brain leads you where you go. So if you want to follow your heart, you have to pull out what's in your heart and you have to literally put it in your brain. How many of you guys have ever driven home from work or whatever, you pull into your driveway or your garage and you don't remember driving home? Has that ever happened to you? It's happened. Yeah, right? Isn't that crazy? That is a proof of how your brain literally runs your life without your knowledge. It's been designed to protect you and keep you safe and secure, and you will stay exactly where you are forever unless. Make sense? So let me take you through the process. I'm going to share my personal story on this really quick, just to kind of give you an idea. Look, and I know you don't need to know this to do the software, but here's why I want you to go through this process anyways. And leaders, make sure you're bringing people through this process when they're new. Because if they won't take the time to get a why, they'll quit. Here's the stat. 1 out of 2 people quit the business their first year. 1 out of 2. That's a lot of people. Why do they quit? Because they don't have a reason not to. You need to understand why you're in the business. Otherwise, it's easy to quit. It's easy to quit if you don't have a reason. Make sense? All right. Let me take you through this real quick. Where'd it go? I have too many screens open. First question, why did you become a promoter? Okay, so I'm going to share my story. I was a Beachbody coach, which is kind of similar to what you guys do. I'm not anymore, but that's how I got started. And I started in the business because I lost 60 pounds. And I looked different. People were like, what are you doing? I would tell them. Finally, I signed up because my wife said, you should be getting paid for all those people you send to Beachbody. So I did. I signed up. Okay, that's it. I didn't have a deep why. I didn't have a deep goal. I wasn't at that point motivated to change the industry and the way the business is done like I am now, because I didn't even know there was a problem with it yet. Next question, what do you hope to accomplish? When I signed up, I wanted to make $500 a month extra money. That's what I wanted, $500 a month. Who can relate to that goal? Yeah, $500 a month, that's it. I was like, I even asked my sponsor, do you think I can make $500 a month doing this? He said, sure. I said, great, sign me up. Why is that important to you? Third question. See, each question leads you to thinking. Now, you guys will do this on your own, or maybe you'll do it with a success partner, and you're just going to take notes here. No one's going to see it but you. It's just for you to think through this process. Now, for me, it was important because I wanted to take that $500, right? When you have a number like that, it's for a reason. I wanted to save it. I just wanted to put it in the bank and save it. Okay. Now, just to give you some context on this, I told you I come from coaching and mentoring and doing business consulting. 15 years, that's been my job. And I worked a lot with real estate people. Anyone do real estate on the side? Real estate was a great place to be coaching and helping people build their business because that industry was bigger and bigger and bigger every single year until, how many of you guys remember 2008 when the bottom fell out of our economy? And did anyone lose their job that year? I did. I lost my job. It was eliminated along with basically my industry, and I had to go figure it out. And it was a difficult time. It was scary. We were fine. We were, by God's good grace, we made it through the recession intact. My family, we didn't lose our home or anything like that, but we did stop saving. We used all our savings up. We stopped saving. We started living paycheck to paycheck. And 6 years later, when I'm looking at the network marketing opportunity, I haven't been able to save a penny in 6 years, nothing. Savings account balance, 0. I actually think it had like 3 cents. You get that statement every month that says 3 cents, makes you feel really good. You're like, wow, how much money are you spending sending me this statement that says 3 cents? But anyways, I just wanted to save it. It was psychological. I wanted to put some money in the bank, okay, for a security thing. Getting back into this, where am I? Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? The truth is what I really wanted to do was buy a new home. We'd outgrown our home. We had a great home, but it was tiny for all the kids my wife and I were having. We didn't have any space anywhere to go, and I dreamt of a new home. The problem was we were upside down. In the recession, we were upside down at one point, more than $100,000 on our mortgage. Like if we sold it, we'd have to write a check or short sell it. And but I still thought, man, if I could save just that $500 a month long enough, maybe we could buy a new home. Next question. Do you see how in 5 minutes I went from, I guess I'll sign up, to, wow, I'm starting to think about maybe buying a new house for my family with this business, right? It's pretty exciting. The next question is this. This is the last question. Why is that meaningful? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Now, look, I have to look at the goal that I just said, which was buying a new home. Why is that meaningful, and how does it make me feel? And this was kind of tough, and I had to think about this for a couple of minutes, kind of ruminate on it. See, because buying a new home is kind of materialistic, right? Is it? I mean, I don't know. But here's what I realized when I really started thinking about this, how it made me feel. How would buying a new home make me feel? I realized it wasn't the home that really mattered. It was that the home symbolized my family. Make sense? And I looked at my family, who I adored, and I wasn't there for them. I just wasn't there for them. I was doing what I felt was my duty, which was providing for them. I'd go out and I worked. I brought home money, and I provided a life for my family. But I wasn't there for them. I'd get up in the morning and I'd kiss my kids goodbye. They're in their pajamas still. Go to work. I was awesome at my job, really, honestly. I've got trophies and awards telling me how great I was at my job. And I would come home in the evening. My kids would be in their pajamas again, getting ready for bed. I realized that I wasn't going to be present for them for their entire childhood. I was just going to miss it. They had really nice pajamas. Right? And my wife, I mean, maybe 45 minutes a night I got to spend with my wife. We'd like watch something on Netflix. That was the extent of my family time. And, I didn't really think anything was wrong with that, because I think that's what dads have done traditionally for generations, right? But I wanted something else. I wanted something more. And it wasn't about the house. It was about my family. And as I started thinking about this, I kind of had one of those aha moments. You guys ever have those aha moments? Aha, for those of you who don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I realized something. My job that I was very proud of, I had a big office and a lot of status and respect, right? Wasn't getting us there. Well, we were totally stuck. We hadn't saved money in 6 years, living paycheck to paycheck. I dreamt of a new life with my family, being present with them. I dreamt of having a business where I could be at home, working from home, being around my family more. I dreamt of buying a new home, and none of that was going to happen with my job. I had grown to the top of my industry, and I was stuck there. Anyone relate to that? Just feeling stuck at work? And here 5 minutes earlier, before starting this My Why process, I started thinking about my side hustle, my network marketing business, as extra money. How many of you guys look at it as extra money? You know what I realized? I realized that the network marketing business could get me everything I ever dreamt of. And my job was not going to get me any farther than I was. I stopped thinking of my business as extra money, and I started thinking of my job as extra money. How many of you have a job? How awesome that somebody is going to pay you money for some of your time to take care of your bills so you can build your business. Right? That's the way I started looking at it. I was like, these fools are going to pay me all this money so I can build my business and eventually leave them. Right? It was a switch. And I wrote down my first why statement that day. By the way, this was just 3 years ago, you guys. I can't even believe it. I'm in my new home now. I'm serious. My office probably is as big as half of my house was. That's not to brag. My point is just that 3 years ago, I wrote this down, my first why statement, and I'm going to share it with you. Hold on, let me get the screen. And when I wrote this down, it changed everything for me. Here's my first why statement. It's the sample text in your Teamzy account. My why: to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. This was life-changing. Writing this down, by the way, whatever you write in this box, when you click continue, it saves to the dashboard of Teamzy. It's there every day for you to read it. This is how you're going to get your brain rewired to get you to this why. Does that make sense? But I want you guys to understand that when I wrote this down, it changed everything, because something that I was just doing kind of as a hobby on the side now is important. Make sense? And there were going to be plenty of days where I didn't feel like doing my Teamzy. I didn't feel like connecting with people. And now I had to be confronted by this statement. I want to change things. I want to never have to worry about money again. I want to be present for my wife and for my kids every single day. So I need to do it, right? Otherwise, I have to own up to the fact that I'm going to blow it off today and stay stuck where I am. Writing this down convicts you, and it helps clarify for you what you need to get done. I have to tell you guys, I decided right then and there that day when I wrote this down, I was going to leave my job. Within 3 months, I had left it. I was home working on my business. I had no space in my house to work on my business. There was nowhere to go. Everyone shared a room. Even our bedroom was also the nursery at our house. So here's, some of you guys know the story. Kristen, I think you know the story. I had to my name $5,000. I bought a new computer. I went to Home Depot. I bought a shed. You know the sheds that you put your lawnmowers in? How many of you guys have a shed in the backyard with a lawnmower in it? I bought one of those. I had it dropped in my backyard. I drilled a hole in the wall and I put an extension cord through the hole from my house. And I put a desk in there and started building my business. Look at this. I found a picture recently of this. Wait, did it share the picture? I don't see it. Hold on a second. Let me try this again. I don't know what it shared. Try it again. Did it pull up the picture, guys? Do you see it? The shed? Oh yeah, it's showing it. It's showing it. Okay, there I am. I just couldn't see it on my screen. This is one of my business partners, Mike, and I in the shed. And literally, I just, do you know how hot and sweaty it was in that shed in the summertime? Can you imagine? I would be out there connecting with people in board shorts and sweating with a fan blowing. I didn't care. I was making it happen. Once I understood my why, I had to make it happen. Here I am, guys, 3 years later, I'm not in a shed anymore. I wish I still had the shed though, just for history's sake. The point is the why will convict you. You get a success partner, share it with your wife, share it with your spouse, and you are going to get so much more out of this business because I guarantee you will feel like quitting without a why. I guarantee it. Whether something big happens, like a storm, a fire, sickness, death, whatever, or it was something small, like you're just bored, don't feel like doing it today. Whatever the case is, you'll quit without the why. So don't skip this part, okay? Make sense? Okay. And if you need to get a shed, make it happen. All right. I did insulate it. I want you to know I did insulate that shed. And I live in San Diego, so it wasn't that bad. Some of you guys live in places where you do not want to do that. Okay, the last step for Teamzy is you're going to get all your contacts in. Get all your contacts into Teamzy. If you already have a team, you want to get your team imported first. If you've got customers, you want to get all your customer list in next. And then what's cool is you can get your Facebook friends list imported. It's really cool. Facebook makes it pretty easy now to get your Facebook list, and you put it right into Teamzy, so it's all organized in one place. Make sense? Anything else? Any other place where you have lists, your phone, Gmail, whatever, you can get everybody into Teamzy in one place, organized. Okay, pretty cool. All right, so there's one more step for setup once you get everything imported before you can crush your power hour, and that is ranking your relationships. So, okay, here's the dashboard of Teamzy. On the left side navigation, I'm going to go to Team. See where it says Team? The team page is basically your CRM, your contact relationship manager in Teamzy. Everybody that you have is in here. Look at this. All my contacts are in here. Okay? We call it the team page because it's your team is your promoters. Your customers are also your team, right? Because they're supporting your business. And your prospects, all your relationships are your team also because they're the people who potentially will become advocates. So everybody lives here on this page. Make sense? All right, so what we do is we rank these people. Let me show you how to do it. Rank mode, turn it on right there. Boom. We go down our list and we give people a rating. 5 stars is awesome, 1 star is not awesome. Make sense? Just like you rate everything else. Everyone starts as a 3-star, so you don't really have to rank everybody. You're really looking for your 4 and 5-star people. Why is this so important? Because you need to understand in relationship marketing, not just in relationship marketing, in any business, 80% of the business will come from 20% of your contacts. Okay, 80% of your business will come from 20% of your contacts. So you need to be connecting more often with your best people. Does this make sense? You need to be connecting more often with your best people. So what we do is we jam down the list. We go, oh, Luis is a 4. I want to click on him and make him a 4. You just click on him. Okay. Maybelle's a 1. I want to get her down. So the point is the higher the stars, the more often they come up on your list to connect with. Make sense? The lower the stars, the less often. So the way it works is a 5-star is going to be your absolute best relationships in life, your rock stars on your team, and your hottest prospects. Your 5-star people come up on your up next list. Up next list. Wow, say that fast. Every 30 days. Okay. 4 stars, those are going to be, your friends, your decent friends, your solid performers on your team, and your good customers. Not your awesome customers, but your good customers. They're going to show up on your list every 60 days. 4 stars now, 60 days. 3 stars, again, everyone starts as a 3-star. They could go either way. A 3-star shows up every 90 days. So they're cycling through, just not as often. 2 stars show up every 120 days. Does this make sense? More stars, more often. You guys with me? Okay, so once you go down and you do that, you pick out your 4s and 5s. You don't have to save it, auto saves. Now we're ready to do our power hour together. Okay? So we already saw the activity bar. These are our goals. Power hour right here. This is where you do the work. Okay? The left side is the who's up next list. There's 4 lists: prospects, customers, promoters, and your follow-ups. Okay? 4 lists. You start from left to right, you work the lists. It tells you who's up next. You just work the list as is. The right-hand side is where you enter the data and log it as you go. You with me? So let's do a power hour together. Not for an hour. I'm just going to demonstrate it. First person on my up next list is Kristen. I'm going to message her. Now, a lot of people get stuck here because they think, what the heck am I going to say? What you don't want to do is try to cold invite or sell them something. It's just to connect them, just to make someone's day, okay? I spent a lot of time and energy figuring out how to do this efficiently. And I came up with these great little icebreaker scripts to start conversations. I put them in Teamzy for you. You can just use them. They work awesome, right? And they work on anybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to where I would log and see where it says scripts. I'm going to start there by getting a script. And I'm just going to let's just grab connect number 1. Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. So simple, and it works so great. So I'm just going to click on copy script, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll paste it in Teamzy so that I can edit it and modify it. Obviously, I got to change the name. Okay, I want to put some emoticon on there. Oops, I hit the wrong keystrokes. There it is. Let me see the emoticon fanatics. I love emoticons. I love emoticons on a message because it conveys the spirit of the message, right? Hi, Kristen, just stopped by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. That's just the way I want it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy it again so I can go send it in Facebook. Okay. I'm going to look her up. It's no fair because I've already got a message from her, but that's all right. There she is. Look, now I'm going to send her the message. Just paste it right in. It's already the way I want it to go, and just send it. Okay, that message has now been sent to her. I'll go toggle back to Teamzy. See, I just have Facebook open in a separate tab. Super easy. You actually have to send it through Facebook. Facebook doesn't allow any other apps to send its messages for it. And then what I'm going to do is make sure that's logged as a Facebook message. See this big blue log connect button? I click that, and now it's logged. I don't have to track, it's already tracked. Notice that I've got 1 up on my scoreboard now. 1 prospect connect is done. The next person on my list is Jay. I'm going to just use that same script. It's already there on my clipboard. Just pasted it in, change the name to Jay, and it's ready. Do you guys see how I could do 20 in 20 minutes? Seriously, it's so easy. I'm going to jump over here. We're going to look up Jay. There she is. Send the message. You might not be as fast as me navigating all these screens when you're brand new, but you'll get there pretty quick. And also you can do it on your phone super fast. So look, log that one, boom, now I've got 2 done. Now I'm just gonna keep going down my list until I get to my goal. In my case, it's 10, okay? I'm just gonna send this first connect to start a conversation. Now, some people will respond right away, be disciplined, and don't have the conversation yet until you've got all your outgoing messages done, okay? Or you might get sidetracked. So plan to have the conversations later. Right now, we're just sending out the messages. So I'm going to go down my prospects list until that turns all the way blue, and I've completed my goal for the day. In this case, 10. It'll take me 10 minutes. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the next list, customers. I'll start connecting with my customers. The first one on my list is Sherwood, right? I'll do the same process. Go to scripts, get a customer script. Okay. Great. So here's an easy one. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the product? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. So I'll go in there and modify the name and modify the product, right? Simple message to my customers. Here's another great one. Hi, Jane. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Right? So let's say I want to grab that one. I love that script, by the way. If you've never asked your customers if there's anything you can do to make their day, send that to a couple of them tomorrow. Just tell me what happens. Okay. Hi, Sherwood. Just checking in and see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Copy it, send it in Facebook, boom, and log it. Now, do you guys see how easy this is? You're going to stay in great touch with your customers. I just want to talk to you really quick about it. I know we've used a lot of time and I want to get to Q&A, but you just need to know this. You need to be in regular contact with your customers. Teamzy is going to make it so easy. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to create a complicated system. Well, okay, so I take the date that they sign up and then I go 32 days after that. And I don't complicate it. Just put them in Teamzy, put the star rank on them, and just when they show up, message them. That's it. Stay in contact with them. Staying in contact with your customers, it's the right thing to do, right? It's good service, but you also need to know that if you are in regular contact with customers, guys, this is important. Listen to this. They'll order more products. It's a known fact. If you're in regular contact, they'll order more product. If they're on a reorder, like a monthly auto ship, they'll retain longer. So if you want to increase your team volume and you want to increase retention, just stay in contact with them. That's it. Seriously. I've seen teams raise team volume 30% in 1 month just by doing a free Teamzy trial challenge, getting people in touch with their customers. It's huge. Because as you're connecting with people and building that relationship and trust, they become curious. They want to try more products. Okay? Great. How many of you, just really quick, and I know you guys are Le-Vel and you're all health conscious, but how many of you have gone and into like a hamburger restaurant in the last 5 years and bought a hamburger and not left with a drink or French fries? Like, it's rare. We are designed to want to buy all of the related products. Your customers are the same way. I just want you guys to know that. They're getting one thing now or two things now. They're designed to want to try the whole system. Okay? So you just need to understand being in touch is the first step. The third reason why you need to be in contact with your customers is this. This is super important, okay? And Kristen's been through in boot camp with me. She's been through my complete training on how to do this, and she'll share some of that information with you guys if she hasn't already. How many of you guys have customers right now that are great? A couple of people. Well, that's good. How many of you would like more people like that? Do you know where to go get the new customers? Is there a special place where you just go get them? The best place to get a new customer is from your current customer. Okay? The best place for a new customer is a current customer. That's true in any business. The reason why is, instead of having to explain what Thrive is, you've got somebody who's already using it and loving it, right? What do people do when they're using and loving something? They talk about it. I already told you guys, no, I didn't tell you this stat, but I think it's 86% of North Americans make purchases based on the recommendations of a friend. Does that sound about right? You've got customers talking to their friends about how awesome your product is. 86% of people will make a buying decision based on that recommendation. So you have a pool of incredibly hot prospects. Actually, some of those people right now, while you're listening to me talk, are probably Googling Le-Vel and figuring out how to buy the product from somebody else. Oh, you didn't want me to say that. It's true though. If you want to get referred to your friends, your customers' friends, you need to be in touch with them regularly. And I don't mean, I'll get in touch with them tomorrow and ask them who they can refer you to. It starts by being in regular contact and making sure you're getting introduced to people. Okay? Stay in touch with your customers. All right, let's jump back over here real quick. When I've connected with all my customers and I hit my goal in this case was 6. 6 customers, I'm going to jump to promoters and start connecting with my team. Okay? Connecting with your team is just as important as prospecting. Some of you need to write that down. Connecting with your team is just as important as prospecting. Listen, when you guys start getting into this nerdy stuff about social science and the way people are wired, one of the things you'll learn is that people work harder, not for money, but for relationship. How many of you guys want a team full of motivated people who are crushing it? The biggest thing you can do is help them feel connected to you. Stay in touch with them. That's why we called it Teamzy, by the way. It's about creating family with your team. So your power hour looks like this. Connect with your prospects, boom. Use my scripts to get it started, go. Connect with customers, same thing. Just connect, make their day. Promoters, make their day. It means a lot to hear from your team leader, okay? And then we're gonna get to our follow-ups list. Now you notice I've got no follow-ups scheduled. That's because follow-ups aren't automatic in Teamzy. You have to set them. See, everybody comes up automatically for connecting, but follow-ups is where we put people who are interested. Make sense? Follow-ups is where we're closing sales and recruiting people. Connects are where we're just building relationships. So how does this work? Let me just go through this really quick with you. So I messaged Kristen. We're catching up. Let's say we're old high school buddies, even though I'm probably way older than her. Just catching up with Kristen. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. She says, oh, great to hear from you, Eric. Thanks for reaching out. How are you? And I tell her, oh, we're great. Well, send me an update, Kristen. What have you been up to? And I'm trying to have a conversation with her now. Okay. Getting caught up. And I'm asking questions, and I'm just trying to get an update with her life. And I'm listening for ways that I can help Kristen. That is the goal of the conversation that you start, is to help the person. Okay. It's not to make a sale or to find a way to weasel your business into the conversation. It's to find a way to help her. Okay. However I can. Maybe it has nothing to do with the business. Maybe she just needs a recommendation to a new doctor. Maybe she needs some advice. Maybe she needs someone to pray with her because she's going through something difficult or challenging. But maybe, just maybe, she needs something that is solved with the business. Maybe she needs more time, wants to be with her kids, needs flexibility of a schedule. Maybe she needs more income. Maybe she has some health or energy issues that I can help her with. In those cases, I'm going to, in the conversation, when I uncover that interest, I'm going to invite her. Does this make sense? So as I'm talking to her, getting caught up, I'm taking notes, I'm listening. By the way, just listening, asking questions and listening blows people's minds. Because no one stops to listen to us. Have you noticed when you talk to people, they're waiting for their turn to tell you their next thing? Some of us do that, right? I'm guilty of it too. Oh, fast forward. She says, what about you, Eric? What have you been up to? I say, well, where do I even start? It's been so long since you and I have talked, Kristen. I actually left my job 3 years ago. I work for myself now, and it's been unbelievable. It's been such a blessing. I get to be home with my kids. We just bought a new house. Life is good. And she's like, wow, that's amazing. What are you doing now? Okay. Not everyone will ask you that, but if you set it up right, you'd let them know. Oh, well, I'm doing Le-Vel. It's been amazing. Oh, really? What is that? Let's, and explain it. This is what I'm doing, and it's great. Now, if I was a good listener, I'll know how to describe it to her in the most attractive way. If her issue was time with her kids, I'm going to say, I get to be with my kids every day. It's so cool. Okay. So as I'm talking to her, I'm like, I'm gauging her interest. I'm measuring her motivation. I'm trying to see if she sounds interested in what I'm doing or not. And if I'm feeling that there's some interest, I'm going to say something like this, hey, Kristen, are you interested in learning a little bit more about what I'm doing? And she says, yeah, I'm kind of curious. Great. Now I'm going to invite her to something tangible. Well, listen, my team is doing an event tonight. It's virtual on Facebook. You can watch it from home. If you'd like to learn more about it, it's going to be a great opportunity to learn about the business. I'll send you the link right now and you can tune in, and I'll connect tomorrow and see if you have any questions for me. She says, that sounds perfect. Great. So this is an example of an invite. So now I am going to bring her to an event, in this case, a virtual event. The event's going to present the business to her, and then I'm going to follow up on it. Okay. So let me show you how I do it in Teamzy. It's just an example. It may be something else. It may be I might say, let's get on a call if she has, let's say she's got energy problems. I might say, well, let's get on a call so I can find out what's going on with you and see if I can help you. Maybe instead of inviting her to an event to learn about the business, I'm going to invite her to get some products that are going to help her with what she's doing. But this is how I'm going to log it up. Now, she's not on my dashboard anymore, so I'm going to have to look her up in this lookup bar, okay? I'm going to look her up. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this connect box, so it's just like on the dashboard, okay? But see where it says invite? This time I'm going to log it as an invite. And let's call this, let's call it a business opportunity meeting for lack of better description, okay? And I'm just going to put a note that it was Facebook. I can't even type. Where's the buttons here? Facebook live event, okay. It's a little note there. And so what I want you guys to notice is where it says in 2 days, this is my follow-up. Teamzy has given me an automatic follow-up because I told it was an invite. But I'm going to change it because you can change it to any date. The 2 days is just kind of your fail-safe. I told her I'd follow up tomorrow, so I'm going to set it up for tomorrow. Now there's a follow-up set. When I log this, see there's a follow-up on a record now. Now I can't screw this up. Go back to the dashboard and you'll see on my follow-ups list, there she is. She's due tomorrow. So this is what the Power Hour looks like. You turn it on, read your why to yourself, go to your prospects, connect, go to your customers, connect, go to your promoters, connect, and then go to your follow-ups and follow up, right? So as you're connecting and you uncover you're having conversations, you invite some people that are good prospects, you put them on your follow-ups list, and now you follow up like a pro. How do I do a follow-up in Teamzy? The same way. I go to my scripts, I grab a follow-up script. I just want you guys to know this. I put 10 follow-up scripts in order, my follow-up scripts that I've refined for years. In here, you can just use them. So I'll grab follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Copy that script. Boom. I'm going to jump back in here, do it the same way. I'll paste it. I'll change the name to Kristen. Checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? I'll go send that to her on Facebook. If I don't have her on Facebook, I'd text her, okay? Facebook is my favorite way to communicate because it has the best response rate. Next would be text. Boom, follow-up is done. Easy. Now what I do is I log this in Teamzy and I set my next follow-up so that I don't forget to follow up again. Set the next follow-up from the next time, okay? Before I log it. So she's back on my follow-ups list again. I can't mess this up. Tomorrow when I follow up with her again, I'll go into activity, see what I sent her last time, and then I'll get the next follow-up script. Okay? You guys need to understand just how easy was that? How many of you think that looks pretty easy to stay on top of somebody? Yeah. Here's what you need to understand. The fortunes in the follow-up. Have you heard that before? Okay. Get this stat, write it down for your teams. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. That's a lot of follow-ups, huh? How many of you guys follow up 10 times consistently? Anybody? Well, good for you, June. Usually nobody puts their hand up. And I know why you're not following it 10 times for the rest of you. It's because you don't have Teamzy yet, right? So you're not organized enough. It's a lot to stay in touch with somebody 10 times. But it's also annoying, right? How many of you guys don't want to be annoying? That's why you don't follow up so much. And you feel like if you follow up 4 times and they don't respond, they must not be interested, right? How many of you guys feel like if you follow up 4 times and no one responds, they're probably not interested? Here's what I want you guys to understand. It takes 80% of sales don't happen until the 7th or between 7 and 10 follow-ups, okay? This is statistically true across every business, everywhere. So if you want to close business, you have to follow up more, okay? Now here's the good news. I'm going to teach you how to do it without being annoying. I'm going to teach you how to do it right now so that people will thank you for it. No one will ever think you're annoying for it, okay? Who's up for that? Great. But first you have to have a mindset shift. Mindset shift is this. Following up is annoying is what you're thinking now. You need to change it to this. How many of you guys believe that you can help people? How many of you really believe you can help people and change lives through this business? Okay. Now, how many of you think your product is awesome and your comp plan is awesome? Great. Here's the thing, your comp plan and product are not relevant at all. They are irrelevant. Because if you can't follow up enough and get that sale, you're not going to help them anyways. Doesn't matter. They're not getting the product. They're not getting the comp plan. Does this make sense? The first thing you do to help people is follow up. This is why, write this down. This is why I always say this. Following up is an act of love. If you're here to help people, you follow up, because following up is how you help them. Following up is an act of love. And when they don't respond, instead of throwing them away, you love them through the process and keep following up with them. Because when you stop, when you fail to follow up, this is what people think. Oh, she didn't care about me. I guess she didn't care about me after all. I mean, I had a busy month from hell and she gave up on me. Because you don't know what's going on in their lives. But here's what I will tell you. Vast majority of people who are excited, people who respect you, people who want to do this are not going to respond to your first 5 or 6 follow-ups. They're just not. Your message comes through and the dog just is throwing up on the baby at the same moment. Okay? They're just not going to respond. And that's just the way it works. So here's how you do it without being annoying. All you want, knowing they're not going to respond, you just want them to see your message. And you want to make sure it's seen. Okay? So they know you're there, they know that you're present, and they know that you're not giving up on them. Here are the 2 principles for never being annoying. Number 1, never ask them to do anything in your follow-up. Never ask them to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to call you back. That's the worst one. Don't ask them to respond. Don't ask them to RSVP for an event. Don't ask them to complete the purchase that they abandoned in the cart, whatever. Don't ask them to do anything. Okay? Number 2, second principle. Your follow-up needs to be messaged. They need to be able to read it. Okay? They need to be able to read it. And it needs to be short. Why? Here's why. Where's my phone? I got a bunch of messages right now on my phone. They need to be able to read the whole message in the notification on the lock screen. Let me explain why. 1, they're not going to open the message because they can't respond right now. And they don't want you to see that they know that they've seen it because they feel like a big jerk for not responding, right? How many of you do that? Number 2, if your message is longer, now they're really annoyed because they have to open it to know the message. See, you don't want to put them in that situation where they're irritated about having to open the message, and you want them to be able to just see it. Okay, so you keep it short and sweet. Do you remember that message that I sent Kristen a second ago? It was 2 sentences, but it was loaded with heart and care. Okay, so what we do with the follow-up is we just stay in touch with them. We send them these little encouraging messages, and what the messages do is they reconnect them for a split second to the emotion of hope. The emotion of hope that they had when they talked to you about the business, when they talked to you about the products. Just a split second, boom. That hope that is associated with you lives in their brain for a split second every few days. And it builds, and it builds. Okay? And then what will happen is after about 6 follow-ups, and typically with nothing but crickets, and you think, this is crazy. Why am I listening to this stupid Eric guy? All of a sudden you'll get a message back that says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I haven't responded. Thank you for staying in touch with me. I really appreciate it. And they'll unpack all the excuses they came up with during the last 3 weeks that they haven't responded. Okay? So your power hour, you get in there, connect with your prospects, connect with your customers, connect with your promoters, do your follow-ups. That's your power hour. Do it every day. You'll create so much momentum. Okay. So let me give you guys some action steps and then we'll do a Q&A. If you have questions, what I want you to do is you can just unmute and ask. But first, I'm just going to give you a couple action steps before we go, because the coach in me has to give you something to do. Get your 30-day free trial started if you haven't done that already. Okay. Go to teamzy.com, get your 30-day free trial. It's done. Easy. If you're already in your free trial, set up your subscription so that when your free time's over, you don't miss a beat. You don't lose access. You can just keep going. Okay. Get a 30-day success partner to do the trial with you. I really recommend this. They don't have to be the same rank or whatever as you. They just need to be somebody who wants to do this with you. Hold each other accountable to doing it for 30 days and really trying it out, not just signing up and doing nothing with it. What I want you to do is every day when you complete your action steps, like I just demonstrated for you, take a screenshot of it and message it over to your success partner. Do it every day, 5 days a week, right? You take the weekends off if you don't work weekends, or take whatever, Tuesday, whatever you want. But do it every day and send it to your success partner. You'll get so much out of this free 30 days. And seriously, you'll be busier than all get out. Third action step, I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge. I want you to connect with 100 people in 5 days. That's an average of 20 a day. And it can be a combination of prospects, customers, and promoters. I want you to do it 5 days in a row, though, so you can feel the momentum that you can create in just 5 days. You guys might be a little overwhelmed with how many conversations you're having, but that is what a successful business feels like. A successful business always feels slightly overwhelming, but instead of overwhelmed with stress, you're overwhelmed with opportunity. Okay? Got it? Let me just see who's in for the 5-day challenge. Let me see you guys put your hands up for your accountability. Okay, good. All right. That was a lot. I know I gave you a lot of content. Some of you guys are probably spinning right now, but let me just see if you have questions. This is your chance. We'll take a few questions. I'll send you guys off on your way. I know it's late on the East Coast, but if you have a question, just unmute and ask away. Man, that must have been a great presentation.
Oh, okay. Someone has a question here.
Okay.
We're all embarrassed.
Go ahead.
Are you guys wearing matching shirts?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Kristen got a sweatshirt. It has their I am on it. They told me their I am statement. So it says, I am grateful, blessed, fearless.
Courageous.
Oh,
Courageous.
that's so cool.
Yeah. The question I think was, how do you go, what was it, like connecting to inviting?
No. Cold market.
Cold market.
Cold market. How do you get into cold marketing, and like what's the best first step in that?
Okay, so cold marketing is going to be, look, everything that you do, your goal is to build a relationship, right? It's going to be a lot harder with cold market, but your first goal is to get a relationship going. So you're going to connect in a similar way. If you're finding people, let's say on Instagram, for example, right? You're going to follow each other. Hey, thanks for the follow. I love connecting with new people, whatever. And you're going to try to strike up a conversation with somebody and start connecting with them. As soon as you get any sort of interaction with those people, you put them in Teamzy, let them go into your Teamzy flow and stay in touch over time. It will take a lot longer to build trust with some of those people because they don't know you. But those of you guys, especially you leaders who've been out here and have built a presence, you will attract people to you that are already interested in what you're doing. And you will find people right away that want to go deeper with what you're doing. And they found you because they were looking for that, which is kind of cool, right? But the number one thing to think about cold market is just however you meet somebody, your goal is to start a relationship with them and start building trust with them. Does that make sense? So that's really all I would go about looking at. Really cold stuff like buying lists and things like that, I think that's a total, absolute waste of time. Okay? But cold, when you say cold market, I mean like somebody that you don't know, that you have no connections to, but you just met on social media is cold. But that at least you're meeting on social media, so you've got things in common. They have found you, or you have found them, and you have things in common. Does that make sense? So I actually had somebody come into one of my boot camps who was buying leads. Just going to share this with you guys. She was buying leads, and she was connecting with like 300 people a day via leads that she bought. Sending my connect message. Do you know, like her response rate was like 2%. I go, why are you wasting your life on this? Okay. So you guys need to understand, first of all, the idea that you can use up a warm market is a total lie. Okay. You can't use up a warm market. People that know you already have some trust for you. You can only make them warmer. If you go through your whole warm market connecting via Teamzy, some of them will be interested, some of them won't, but none of them are turned off. and you continue to connect, and as you become the trusted advisor in that center, people will know that if they come across, and hopefully you're teaching them this, right? They know that you're the person that helps people with this. What is it you help people do? Do you guys know what you help people do? You need, everybody that you know needs to know that's what you do, that you help people with this challenge, or these are the problems that I solve for people. Okay. Does that answer the question? You know, I could go off further. Okay. You guys, oh, let me unmute you, Kristen, so that you guys can, I see hands going up over there in the Tennessee Mountain House. Okay. You're open.
They were just,
Okay, so you were saying that like you have a warm market and people you know are like your warm market and you can only make them warmer. So when the people that you know and trust hate you for what you're doing and your company and hate your posts and defriend you, then you're in a straight cold market and you're trying to find new people. So what, like that's what we're saying, like how do you start the cold market with people you don't even know because people are sick and tired of seeing you post about what you do. That's the warm market in gone.
Well, I'm sure that you've got a couple of people who have responded that way, but there's no way that everybody you know is like that, right? So, okay, I'm going to answer the question two ways. First, I'm going to tell you a story of this guy that I knew for years as a real estate consultant. He was a real estate broker in Sacramento, California. And when I became a Beachbody coach, I was messaging, you know, hey man, how's it going? It's been a while since we connected. And he said to me, he said, hey, Eric, great to hear from you. You know, when you were doing real estate coaching, your posts were very relevant to me. But now that you're in this fitness thing, you're really not relevant to my life. So I'm going to unfriend you. Okay. He was polite about it, but I was kind of pissed off about the way he, you know, I was like, this is somebody who I've really invested time in, helped him and his wife with their business over the years. Right. And so I was like, okay. So after I cooled down and complained to my wife about it, you guys vent to your spouse. Yeah. I went back and I said, I totally understand. I understand where you're coming from. I just want you to know that, you know, ever since I lost 60 pounds and become healthier, I'm so passionate about helping other people do it. And so if you know anybody who needs help with losing weight, getting fit, getting vitality, regaining their health, could you please connect them with me so I can help them? So I'm telling you the story because guess what? He connected me with 2 people on Facebook. So on the way out the door, I reframed his thinking to, I'm not trying to sell you a shake that you don't want, but I'm on a mission to help people this way. So, you know, and I have to tell you, I wanted to just tell him off, right? But I needed the satisfaction of actually applying the principles. And if, you know, the hardest thing about being a business coach is coaching yourself. It's easier to tell other people what to do. So for those people, I would reconnect with them. And this is what I would say to those people who were rude and stuff is, look, I just want you to know that regardless of whether you ever buy anything from my business or anything like that, it doesn't really matter. Our relationship's more important. Okay. And I just want to connect, you know, but if you ever do have any questions about health or anything, and you know, I'm a resource for you. Don't worry about it and just connect with people. Sometimes you just have to get their guard down because here's what I want you guys to understand. A lot of people hate network marketing, right? Have you come across that? That's because our industry is full of lies and deception. It's trickery. People hate that. We have to change it. We have to change that perception. And right now I'm teaching you guys how to be honest and authentic with people. And right now there's 100 other trainers teaching people to do things like, oh, don't put your company name in your description on Facebook. Don't tell people what you do. You got to create intrigue. No, that's called lying. It's called being deceptive. Why would you hide something you're proud of? They're telling people, right? They're telling people to do that. People hate the bait and switch stuff. People hate that. You got to be honest with people. Hey, I do Le-Vel and I love it. This is why I'm passionate about it, because I help people. Right? And whether or not you're interested in Le-Vel, doesn't matter. We're friends. But I do want you to know that I'm on a mission to help people. And if you know anybody who needs my help, I'd love to help them. Okay. That's how you phrase it. Now, going back to the cold market stuff, if you're going out to meet people, I mean, the easiest place to meet people is social media, right? I know a lot of people use Instagram really successfully to meet people. Again, though, it's work, because you're going to meet people on Instagram and you're going to try to message them. Some of them won't respond, but you might meet some. You will pick some people up that you can meet, and as soon as you start to have conversations with them, get them in Teamzy and get them on the regular contact. Okay. Facebook for me was much easier to meet new people. What I would do is, you can join groups that have interests. I think it's even easier for women, because there's a lot of groups for women where you can get connected with people, and you can add value to those groups, and you can become kind of an expert in that group on what you do, and then you can meet people that way. Here's how I met people, though, because I'm all about relationships. I feel like if I could get introduced to other people's friends, they come with trust, and it's much easier. So what I did was I created Facebook groups to get introduced, in order to get introduced to my friends' friends. Okay. So what I would do, for example, this is totally off the Teamzy training, just kind of general philosophy. I would do free groups for 7 days on a specific topic related to what I was doing. So for example, I would do a water drinking challenge. We're going to drink a gallon of water a day for 7 days. Who's in to ramp up our hydration, right? And I would get a bunch of my friends, Facebook friends, to join this group. And then what I would do is I'd go to the group and say, hey, I want you guys to know this is open to your friends too. I've set this group up so you can invite them right in. Okay. And so I would end up with, I do a 7-day water drinking challenge. Every single day I would do a informative post about the benefits of being hydrated. And I would say, how are you guys doing on your water? Everybody comment on the post. Let me know how you're doing for 7 days. And I would meet 20 or 30 new Facebook friends every time I did that. Okay. For 7 days, they got to see that I was an expert on health, that I was somebody that was relatable. They got to get a feel for who I was. And so then I would friend them and put them in my Teamzy. Okay. I did give up sugar for 7 days. I did gluten-free for 7 days. I did vegan for 7 days. Whatever. I mean, mine was health related. So it was people like doing little challenges like that. A friend of mine did the plank challenge. Who wants to do a 60-second plank every day for 7 days? So this was just a really easy way for me to meet people. And then I would every time get a whole bunch of new people. Does that help? But these were better than cold people. These were people who were a friend of a friend. And so they had some trust. Make sense? And you don't have to worry. The big jerk who hates you for what you do, they're not going to join the group and bring their jerky friends to you either. Okay. Any other, usually I get really technical Teamzy questions. Do you guys, oh, go ahead. Any other questions, guys?
I have a question real quick.
Hi,
so, hi. So for the follow-ups, how, it takes between 6 and 10 follow-ups for somebody to actually show back their interest. But do you follow up so let's say 7 times, so every 2 days? Do you follow really up for 2 weeks in a row, or how much do you space it out, and how do you alter it so it doesn't look like it's copy pasted off the Teamzy side?
You're going to doctor those up a little bit to make them sound like you, right? Here's the thing. I don't have an exact formula, but if somebody's a really hot prospect, they're really good, we had a great talk about the business, we went through numbers, they're interested or whatever, I will follow up 3 days in a row right after the invite. So typically I would follow up 3 days in a row because they were really interested. Because there's a certain percentage that will jump right away on those first 3 and do something. And then after that, I'd start back it off a couple days here, maybe 2 days for the third one, the next one, maybe 4 days after that, maybe, right? And I would just kind of follow my gut, but they would start getting a little bit farther apart, right? I wouldn't follow up every single day. So by the time I got to 6 follow-ups, it might be 3 or 4 weeks total time. Does that make sense? And I don't have an exact formula because I just kind of would do it from gut. When I was completing the follow-up, I would go, I'm just going to follow up next Wednesday, and I would just set it. Does that make sense? But yeah, you're not like hammering them every single day, but you can do it for a few days in a row so that they really, because you want to capture them while they're really enthusiastic. And it could just very well be that they were very busy that week. Does that make sense? So just to kind of give you guys a little background on the follow-ups, the way I learned this principle of following up was when back in the day when we used to call people on the phone. Do you guys remember that? Some of you are too young to remember that. When we used to call people on the phone, you'd leave a voicemail that said, call me back, right? And people wouldn't because they were busy or whatever. And so what I learned was instead of telling people to call me back, I would leave a message that said, hey, I missed you. I'll try you again later. So they didn't have to worry about calling me back. Oh, he'll try me again later. And then I would call them again and I would say, oh, I missed you again. I'll try you again, later. And sometimes I give them a specific time frame between 3 and 4. And it worked. When I didn't ask them to call me back or worry about it, I always got in touch with them much faster. The follow-ups is the same idea because you're going to be present. They know you're going to be present. So when they're ready, they're just going to respond. Does it make sense? So you just stay present for them and they think you're amazing and then you're ready. But here's what happens in this business a ton is you guys will cultivate somebody. You'll get them interested in what you're doing. And then you'll follow up 3 or 4 times. You'll hear nothing. You'll give up on them. They're still interested. So what happens is what? They end up joining somebody else's team. Have you guys had that happen to you? They ended up joining someone else's team because you did half the work. Somebody else finished it. Okay? Or they end up going to a different network, whatever. But you got them started. So don't just get them started, get them finished. All right. If you have one more question, I'll take it. And otherwise we got to send you guys to bed. Any other questions? Okay. Kristen, thank you for having us tonight. I did record this call, so I will get it posted and send you the link so you can share it with the rest of the team. It was a pleasure. Hopefully it was helpful to you guys. My encouragement is get into Teamzy. I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
Oh, my encouragement is get in there, guys, use it and abuse it. Get in there and use Teamzy. Take your business from a hobby to something that gives you everything that you want in your life. Okay? So go ahead, Kristen. Did you want to put in a word?
Thank you so much. I think it's more of like a mindset shift and then being consistent with it. And it's definitely helped me get consistent, have accountability place. And I've shared it with my other coach and team and stuff. So shows I'm doing the do to get the get. And a lot of good things have happened from it. So we're excited to see some other people test it out and see how it goes for them. And I can watch them. I know there's like a team part of this too, so I can see how they do and just have a better way to coach them and guide them as leaders.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for jumping on. We appreciate it a ton. And we can't wait to share the recording with the rest of the team that couldn't make it on tonight.
Thanks for having me. God bless you guys. Have a good night.